What is up, everyone? It's Cher talking, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, let's talk about a Nintendo Switch 2 and all the information that will be important for those that love JRPGs. So, this channel will start to focus more on JRPG news, and I want to discuss the Nintendo Switch 2 because we have a new platform that will be able to play JRPGs, and I do believe it's better to start talking about the system as a whole, and I am here with the overview trailer so we can discuss what has been changed between the first and the second version of Nintendo Switch. So portable, dock, and tabletop. They want to showcase the mouse system for the tabletop mode so that you can invite friends to play, or even on TV you can if you're actually maybe just using your Nintendo Switch as a PC.
All together, anytime, anywhere. Let's take a look at some features of Nintendo Switch 2 and how it's improved from the Nintendo Switch system.
I really like the bigger screen.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen. Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch.
It makes a difference.
The system's thickness remains the same. With approximately double the pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen.
1080p, it's good enough. You need any more than that. But here comes a surprise.
The screen supports up to 120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles.
Especially in Mario games that we released at, I believe. HDR support.
The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast between light and dark areas of the images.
But it's not OLED, so that it can sell again.
Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system. Detach a controller easily by pressing the release button on the back.
So you still have a release button, like the original, but much better button.
The SL and SR buttons are bigger for greater comfort and control when playing with a Joy-Con 2.
I really like this as well. They needed it.
The left and right sticks are now larger.
Not much larger, but larger.
Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse, opening up even more ways to play in compatible games.
I don't know, man. This will actually probably hurt the controller. I don't know. Not many people will use this. This is a gimmick.
Left and right Joy-Con 2 support mouse controls. Certain games using two mice, like this.
Trying to recreate the Wiimote. It's not going to work the same way.
By adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes.
Very nice.
It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via game chat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly.
And NVIDIA has it, so pretty nice.
Even if you don't have a surround sound system, games can be enjoyed with more immersive, three-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you.
It's emulated. This cannot be hardware-based yet. Still, good enough.
Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand.
This is very useful for those that want to play with a mouse.
In addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well.
One of the best new features.
It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode.
Yup.
Nintendo Switch 2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch.
And
For
some
storing your
games.
game downloads,
256 is not that
reading and
much.
writing data is also faster.
Read data is much faster, and that's also why the Nintendo Switch is a lot more costlier, especially for the game cartridges that also need to be faster because the game needs to run as fast as in the cartridge or in the storage. And the SD Express standard is new, and it costs like 60 USD for 256 gigabytes. I'll be talking about that a little later.
Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR is also supported in TV mode.
It's more for very specific titles that are not AAA. I doubt many AAA games will run on 4K.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool. This helps keep performance stable.
But some will. Some will. Yeah, upscaling, of course.
On Nintendo Switch 2, you can play Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical and digital games are supported.
And that's it. That's the first video, and it says it's gonna be available in Gen 5. And the price was not announced here, but we already know it's 449 for USD. And it's 50 costlier than I thought. Oh well, but they are also trying to sell the new package alongside Mario Kart World. They reveal it. I will not be showcasing here because it's not the focus of the channel. And the game itself will be sold by 80 USD. There is a reason for this, and some people are just saying on the internet that the physical version of the game will be 90 USD, but that's a lie. We already have the information on Best Buy. It's 80 for the physical release, and that's when I said that there is a reason behind why it's so costly. 256 gigabytes micro SD Express card is on 60 USD. Now imagine if they release Cyberpunk in a cartridge. How much would that cost? Of course, if you produce in mass, this will be cheaper. But even then, it's much more costly than a normal Switch cartridge will ever cost. That means that this can change in the future, and I don't believe many companies will try to sell a game in this new price of 80 USD. Most of them will stop at 70 USD. That's a new standard for AAA games. So it's sad to see this, and if you are purchasing Mario Kart World with a package, it costs much less, and since they know that Mario Kart is a system seller, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was, most people will just probably purchase in a bundle. Now let's watch this other video that showcases Nintendo GameCube games.
Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack will be getting a new classic game library exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo GameCube, originally released in 2001. Here are the titles that will be available at launch. A Legend of Zelda game that looks like a cartoon come to life through cell shading. Controlling the wind using a mysterious baton, Link sets sail on an adventure across the Great Sea. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Now, everyone wants the Wind Waker to be playable on modern platforms. Well, we could have been playing the Wii U remaster of Wind Waker being ported into the Nintendo Switch, but they never did that, right? So they are probably selling it inside Nintendo Online, and then they will sell the remaster version later, probably ported into Nintendo Switch 2. Besides, they also showcased some other games that will be available. And we have Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and that is another JRPG. We also have Pokemon XD. Many people are also pretty excited for this game since it was pretty popular back in the days. Speaking of Zelda, we have upgrades for both Switch games.
In Hyrule on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom games will both have Nintendo Switch 2 editions.
And you have to pay to get the upgrade.
Jump back into the adventure, now with enhanced resolution and frame rates.
Probably 60 FPS, of course, in at least 1080s.
They both support HDR, which makes the image more vibrant. And they both...
You can still see that it doesn't improve the game all that much. Look at the textures. Look all the grass. Not that it looks bad, but it doesn't improve it that much.
support HDR, which makes the image more vibrant, and they have smoother, higher definition graphics. Plus, the load times when warping are much faster, helping you explore Hyrule with ease.
Of course. The system has like 8 times the speed of the first Nintendo Switch.
If you already own the Nintendo Switch games, your save data can be carried over.
It's the same game anyway.
On top of that, you can now create 2 manual save data files, so feel free to start a new game without worrying about losing your old data.
This is something that should have been ported to the original version of the game as well. The upgrades are probably gonna cost between 10 and 20 USD. Still speaking about Zelda, we have a new Zelda game. But not really, it's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment by Koei Tecmo in AAA Games Studio.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface, their union led to a great and prosperous kingdom. But in time, a terrible evil arose.
The thing here is this game is canon to the main arc.
A war was fought to vanquish this evil, one which future generations would call the Imprisoning War.
It looks pretty beautiful.
You truly have traveled back in time.
Maybe the same engine as before even.
So that's Hyrule Castle?
But in higher definition, higher
That
FPS.
must mean this really is the past.
It's a story leading to Tears of Kingdom. But it's a Musou game, so fight hordes of enemies. It can get pretty boring after a while, but if you just want to see the story, it's still a pretty good game. Yep, another game that JRPG lovers may love, or not. Now we come to Square Enix side of things. They just announced the Final Fantasy VII Integrate first for the Nintendo Switch 2.
こんにちは。スクエアエニックスの浜口です。任天堂スイッチ2でファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードを発売いたします。本作はミッドガル脱出までを描いた3部作シリーズの1作目となり、20年以上の時を経て再創作された新しい FF7 を体験いただきます。スイッチ2で展開する FF7 リメイクシリーズにぜひご期待ください。ぜひ。
So, the important thing about this is that although Integrate was released on older consoles, it's still based on the original game that was first launched on PS4. And we all know that Nintendo Switch 2 has similar power as a PS4. That means that it was totally capable of running this game. Now, can it run Rebirth? I totally believe it can run Rebirth. It's still an Unreal Engine 4 game, and the third game in the trilogy will also be playable on Nintendo Switch, even if they do some compromises, because it would not make any sense not to make the full trilogy playable on Nintendo Switch. And it's also a chance for Square Enix to sell more copies of this game, and I do believe they will. These games will sell a ton in Japan because they love their cartridges there. Physical is still king in Japan. That's probably also why they are allowing to sell for bigger prices. Like I said, the cartridge prices are much bigger. And Final Fantasy VII Integrate will likely have, I don't know, at least 100 gigabytes cartridge. I don't know. It will cost a ton. They have also announced Deltarune whole story. All the 4 chapters. Chapter 3 and 4 are new. 4 hands. This is Hans King. So I haven't played Deltarune or Undertale even, but I know those games are just so imaginative. Very well done. Nice soundtrack. Very famous, so I think portable mode is gonna rock for this game. The Deltarune is waiting. Now I'll be watching Elden Ring new trailer. We're getting an expanded version of the game for Switch 2.
I have long observed the lands between. This world is in dire need of repair.
Looking fine.
Can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden.
It's probably on par with the PS4 version of the game.
I have no doubt you will become Elden Lord. May you take the throne.
Tarnished edition. Likely with the DLC and all. Now there is another game that appears at 1 minute and 53, and I thought this was Xenoblade Chronicles X sequel somehow at the start, but it's not.
Initiating Arsenal boot sequence. Weapon safety mechanism confirmed. All operating at normal levels. Testing data link with spine. Normal. Commencing launch.
After
Could be
two
Zoe as well.
wars where our freedom was restricted, we will finally be liberated from humans.
Zoe Zuna of Enders.
New arsenal, new equipment, and money. I'm for sale, and you're buying.
Rebels!
Mac Coleman.
Warm welcome!
This planet will be ours.
The Sovereign Axiom, the Trinitas, has almost completed a weapon that was created to destroy all humanity.
No! Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you. I'll tear you apart!
I'll kill you! Reminds me of Xenoblade.
To our lives, don't they?
Demon Cross Machina. Pretty cool name. Square Enix announced Bravely Default Remaster.
Never fades. Is reborn. Bravely Default returns, remastered in high definition. Featuring the Brave and Default commands that help you control the flow of turn-based battles. Change and customize jobs to build out your very own party. Enjoy your adventure with upgraded features and enhancements. And all new minigames with unique ways to play. Square Enix presents the classic fantasy RPG, Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Set foot in Luxembourg as a warrior of
Quality of life improvements, better graphics.
セガ龍が如くスタジオ代表の横山です。我々がお送りするタイトルは龍が如くゼロ誓いの場所ディレクターズカットです。1988年東京と大阪2つの歓楽街を舞台に土地をめぐる争奪戦が勃発。伝説の始まりを追加シーンとともにお楽しみください。発売日は Nintendo Switch 2の発売と同じ日です。今後のシリーズ展開にもぜひご期待ください。
I don't like that they are adding new cutscenes to Yakuza 0. That's a game that has been released more than once. Okay. Their biggest announcement was something else, called Dust Bloods. This is somehow Bloodborne without being Bloodborne. And now on a Nintendo system, From Software making another game, lock it into a system. Some people love, some people hate. Maybe they have an agreement with Nintendo. They likely do. And we saw rumors of Sony wanting to purchase From Software. Not gonna happen.
I give you my life. Turn, O wheel, and transport him to a night of moonlight, to humanity's very dusk.
This person looks dead, but it may not be. It's about vampires of sorts. Creatures up at night. Graphics are on par with PS4, I will say. Characters are pretty stylized and background art is amazing as always. Game direction, art direction, music, sound, always top notch. This looks like Nier. Being Shadow Fantasy, it kinda helps when it's not so much AG. I would say that it helps. Elden Ring has a lot more detail, but
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon.
this game doesn't need as much.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
We have more medieval and, I don't know, modern areas than open world areas. Castles and industrial. The Ring is a lot more open world.
Tears will flow for one.
Grass is hard to
One alone.
process, especially if you have way too much. Well, that's the last game that have been shown during the live stream, and this is probably the one that people will discuss the most. It looks great. It looks great. I will play this totally. Well, anyway, this is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was more about showcasing everyone that loves JRPGs, all the information that got sent, and my opinions on all of it. Please say here in the comment section what you think about all of it, and I hope to see you soon on the next video or live stream. Goodbye.